what was going through your mind yesterday?
Yeah, so I think coming into the end of the campaign period into election day, everyone's tired, right? The early voting period lasts 17 days, and then you've still got this marathon election day. So I think everyone was waiting for the finish line, me included. We tried to understand the numbers before the election, so we felt as positive as you can, heading into any period of uncertainty. But we're glad that it's over and glad it's in the rearview mirror now. But very, very happy with the support and the results.
What's next for you? Do you have any plans right now as to what you want to work on, issues that you want to, see solved?
So nothing has really changed from the last long session and this short session. We still have several challenges in our state. We have financial challenges as a result of the shutdown and collections not being where we would want them to be, whether it be for gas tax and funding for DOT, but different needs that we have because of sales tax being irregular. So we have financial challenges, and everyone tends to forget that. Fortunately, we're on solid financial footing, but that doesn't mean that you have a lot of extra money to do the things that you would like to see and do. I think that we'll continue to try to focus on fiscally responsible policy at the state level and continue to work to try to find answers to some of our challenges in the rural areas. Like everywhere else, when we think about how we fund education in the more poor rural areas, we think about healthcare challenges, and then additionally, we have flooding issues and hurricane challenges to deal with. So I don't think that the opportunities for improvement are going to go anywhere. I think we'll have plenty of them. I think addressing the revenue side of the equation and trying to understand a more clear picture of what we have to work with so that we don't put ourselves in a bad situation is very important.
Not you, but Governor Cooper was reelected. I mean, how do you plan to keep on working with the opposing party? Do you feel like there was issues before, or do you feel like that plays in any factor as to how you guys are able to make legislations or vote on those legislations?
Sure. So being from Eastern North Carolina, I think it's a little easier, for the small town folks to work with others. The nature of our relationships are a little different. There's not a great deal of difference if you're from here and how you're raised. You may see a few issues differently, but it gets a lot different in the big cities. And when people they're not from North Carolina. When we travel or we move somewhere, we all bring our experiences, our beliefs with us, and that has certainly happened a great deal in the big cities. But here in the East, our small town values are very compatible, and we tend to get along well with lawmakers from another party. In terms of the governor, I would hope, to your point, now that he's been reelected and no longer in consideration for any office on the national level, I hope that he will not resort to ultimatums and rigid stances, because I don't think that we've seen in recent history that doesn't work. So the ability to do the best we can where we can reach agreement. People can disagree and not be about politics or not be about being petty. We can just see the world differently. And we've got to, I don't know when we stop being able to recognize that as a society, but we've got to understand that, hey, sometimes someone just has a different idea than you do, and it doesn't make them evil. But it doesn't mean that we can't work together to find some common ground to make some progress. That's better than stalemate, I think.
Yeah, I just spoke to another senator. He was saying the same thing. My other question is about the pandemic. I mean, where do you feel like the state might go from here? We've been at this for, I feel like I've lost count now, 7-8 months with dealing with this pandemic. Do you feel like there's more financial support coming from the state anytime soon?
So, we just talked about the shortfalls that the state already faces. And unlike the federal government, we have a constitutional requirement to balance our budget. So we have to live within our means. And when you know you already face shortfalls, it's unrealistic to think that we would be able to provide additional resources from the state level. So any additional help we would see, it must be federal in nature if we're going to see that. I think we have to do the best we can with what we have today, with no plans of seeing assistance, and then hopefully be pleasantly surprised if they are able to reach an agreement.
And those are all my questions. Is there anything else you would like to say about your next 2 years in office? Anything else that I haven't asked you?
I would just say that I serve in the Senate to, of course, try to help North Carolina, but more importantly for me, Eastern North Carolina. And I'm willing to serve as long as I feel I can do some things to help the East. And if I find out that I'm unable to do that, then I will gladly step aside and let someone else, have a turn to see what they can do in the future. Because if I can't be effective and I can't do some things to bring about some change, I don't want to be there just to be there. I either want to be able to accomplish something or find my next chapter in life. So I'm going to be working hard to try to bring some accomplishments and help back to Eastern North Carolina.